Hello, and thank you for participating in our online annual discipline-specific activity. For those of you that I've not met, I'm Kaylee Malsey, the Associate Dean of School Partnerships here at Penn Highlands Community College. While I have communicated with all of you in some form or another, it is my pleasure to work with each one of you. As many of you know, we typically hold an in-person event each fall, allowing you to work face-to-face with the college faculty and our college faculty liaisons to talk about many topics, including course content, delivery methods, assessment, or research and development in the field. This event is a requirement of our NACEP accreditation. While it saddens us that this year we were unable to hold an in-person event due to the COVID-19 pandemic, our liaisons have worked hard to provide an opportunity for us to still meet the requirements in some face-to-face format. In the fall, faculty liaisons held live Zoom meetings with ACE faculty. We understand that not everybody was able to attend these meetings at the specific time, but the meetings were all recorded and have been uploaded for you to complete and view at your leisure. Supporting documents from all of these meetings are also included on the training pages. We appreciate your time in completing the annual discipline-specific activity. There is a short survey that we are asking you to complete once you have completed the training. If you have any questions regarding this training or other requirements, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. You can email me at kmalsey@pennhighlands.edu or give me a call at 814-262-3859. Thank you again for your dedication to the students and your participation in the ACE program. Thank you.
Well, we'll get going here, and hopefully then this will kind of help you out, Will, or Miss Kay. I know you guys might be virtual too, but when trying to come up with something to do for this, I thought that I'd put together a sheet with some websites that might be of use for you in chemistry, and also as you go through this, if you have anything, you could send them to me and I could add it to this document. And then I guess what I could do is put this document on the ACE website under chemistry. There's so much out there, but trying to find something that's useful sometimes isn't all that easy. So let me go ahead and.
We are still in person, but half the class is quarantined.
Oh, really?
Yes, I could do labs until last week. I was allowed to have labs with maximum 3 per group and face shield if I'm not using gases.
Right.
And wipe everything down, wearing gloves. It's like so much work, not only the work. I had hybrid. So I had to do the same lab twice.
Right.
I did actually chromatography lab, the glass, nail and glass lab, and the other one with the density of accuracy and precision of water, that lab for introchem. And I cannot do any more labs because the things are getting crazy.
Right. Well, that's in our lab. Yeah, going into this school year, we've reduced the class size for the social distancing. So pretty much our labs were capped at 12 because I could handle 12 students spaced 6 feet apart. And then what's really nice about our labs is each group has their own, like, pull down a little hood. So I have like 6 hoods on each side of on the benches. So as soon as I go in there, I turn those on, and at least I have, where whatever birds are going by, they're the ones getting the virus.
So is this the list for introchem? I mean, CHM 106 or 120?
For what now?
The list you are putting here, it is for any.
This could go, this is kind of just in general, what might work. Some of them are actually the first one, and I could just click on show you. The first one's kind of nice, I found. You can do a gas lab, and actually has a nuclear lab. Mm-hmm. And this is a free one, and I just actually did a little bit of this. So let me just go to it. So it's from the University of Colorado, and it's a free one. So they have a nice one. They have 3 experiments with Boyle's Law, Charles, and Gay-Lussac. So they have a worksheet that goes with it. The lab manual just tells you, you know, the instructions.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of nice. Like you could do one, you know, so if you work through this, like click on this, and then, you know, here you're going to be, well, you got to click on that. So here, you know, you're going to be changing the weights, and then they're taking the data. So it's, you know, something that is kind of nice that I came across. And then they have the worksheet. So you can either, you know, develop your own worksheet, but they have a nice little worksheet that then, I'll open that up. That actually does the graphing, you know, as they input the data, actually does some calculations, and then they could calculate the constant, and it does some graphing. And then it does have some questions down here that, you know, you can either change or use. But I thought it was kind of nice because it had that. And sometimes I know when I try to do a gas lab, you know, it's kind of hard to do, but, you know, we used some vernier equipment, so it's really difficult to do that with just one student. But they have a Charles Law one that works, where you change in temperature, and then they have the Gay-Lussac one. So it's a nice little online thing, you know, keep your students distant. So I thought this was one that, you know, I haven't stumbled across too much good stuff, but this was one. And like I said, I haven't done any of the nuclear chemistry ones, but they look, again, that would be something that could be pretty useful. You know, so I'll have to look and see how they do these. I haven't ran through. I have run through the gas law ones, and I think they work really nice. So they'd be pretty good for the students. So that's probably the most useful. Where am I get back to this now? Like the American Chemical Society, they had I got really excited because I thought they were going to have, let me go to that one. You know, they say they're going to have a lot of free resources, but when you go through it, some of the stuff's free, some of it's not. So, for example, if I go through the periodic table, now they have some activities for all grade levels, which I've looked at, and a lot of them are maybe more documents versus virtual labs. The AACT resources are really nice, but that is more, you have to sign up, you know, that they're not free. They have them in here, but they're not free. So this one you have to be, you know, this is the American Associated Chemistry Teacher. So you have to, I've run across a few of them that are free, but that's one, unfortunately, that's not. But the Chemical Matters, again, they have a good article and teacher's guides with it that might be useful. But yeah, I was pretty excited when they sent this to me, but when they talked about everything being free, but as typical, not everything is free. Now they do have, and I think I had it somewhere, but they do have a nice little, this reaction videos. So this is a whole list. If you look at their browse videos, they have nice little YouTube videos that they've done on different topics. So this one was pretty interesting. They talk about ammonium nitrate and, you know, why it ends up being disastrous if you have large quantities of it stored. So it's a good little a site there, you know, for various different little videos that you might need. And they got a whole bunch of topics that you could look at. So good little things to work in if you're looking for some activities. So let's see here. Then the ChemX one. So again, they have some various resources, and this has this ChemX one here. This one does have some virtual, and a lot of these come from high school teachers. So again, they're an exchange, chemical education exchange, but they do have, again, they have different activities, but they do have, come down here, they do have some free virtual lab activities. So I haven't really gone through and done some of those, but this would, you know, solution solubility, again, that we could do that in all kind of chem levels. Chem students are always struggling with their calculations. But you could see they have, you know, whole different types that you go through. But I thought this was, again, like I said, I haven't really gone through them, but they have lots of information. And again, they're going to have at least a few free virtual labs that would be nice activities, especially when you're running into trouble having in-person labs. It's always hard to find something online that at least that's free. I know this semester I'm running in, you know, one of my problems, I'm running into, you know, kids being exposed or, you know, missing a week or two because of possible exposure or having it. You know, it's kind of, last thing I want to do is have, like, you know, half the kids doing online, half the kids being in person. And all my, like, last in the spring when everything got shut down, all the companies were offering everything for free. So it was really nice. But, you know, obviously now that's not it. So I think this again was this is just one with the reaction video series. So the one that we just previously looked at. So again, yeah, so the same kind of website that we were at. So there's the reaction videos that you would get to. And they got some neat information into green chemistry. No labs, but they do have some articles on using, you know, being a little more green in the chemistry lab. So what do we got here? This one now probably wouldn't be as useful, but it would kind of be kind of cute. It's more, looks like it's more designed for younger students. But, you know, again, if you're looking for some type of video for doing labs, and, you know, might be something they could do at home. If you're looking for something that they could do at home safely. And this one I just came across. So this one, this ChemV lab. Again, I haven't done this one, but in they have a whole number. If you go through it, they're going to have a number of different activities that appear to be free. They're going to be aligned with the next generation science standards. Like I said, I haven't gone through any of these yet. Just kind of came across these, but here's a list of some of the activities. So again, this I think could be used in all levels of chemistry. So this one I'm looking, yeah, hopefully going to spend some time with, is, and even just giving them extra things to do, especially when it comes to, you know, gravimetric analysis, always something that my students struggle with. So I'm really looking forward to looking into this. I guess that these, you know, my Chem 106 class, we've just been doing some phase changes, and students are really like struggling with trying to figure out where they are along the curve and what calculations they're going to be doing. So this will have some good possibilities, I think. And then I came across this one. So this has, again, some whole bunch of chem videos, and they're nice and laid out for us. So, you know, you got ones on isotopes, so you got different isotope ones. But again, they have a couple, you know, under each topic, they might have a number of different videos. So again, this, you know, if I get stuck doing online labs, this will be something, you know, one of the things I've done is, you know, try and show some video and then have them, you know, do some watch the video and do some questions or so on it. So this, what I've been doing this year also is getting a little different in my class. So we do a lot of, during my lectures on my PowerPoint. So then I've been trying to embed some videos. So, the students can go back and, look at the video once the class is over, because obviously during class, everybody's hard to get students to ask questions. And now, like I said, since everything's online in my lectures, it's hard to get them to even ask questions that way. So something I've been doing is trying to embed the videos within my PowerPoint so that students can go back and, at least take a look at those if they're having some trouble. So like I said, not a big list, but, obviously when you get on the internet, man, you could spend hours trying to find stuff that that might be useful. But like I said, the Chem V-Lab thing, I think could be pretty useful to us. And I like to use the little videos anymore. Like I said, I'm going to be looking at this Chem DX. Again, anything virtual. And again, I highly recommend the gas lab. Especially even if you're going to be in person, if you're having a hard time, you don't have so many students, it's, you have, the computer, students have access to computers, so they can really work independently. You don't have to be dealing with kids and working together in a group with the equipment. So it worked really nice. So because I did try this one in the lab with the Chem 106 because of that. Again, it's very difficult, doing some of doing the gas labs with just one person handling all that equipment. So we did this virtually, and I kind of had I would walk around and have them show me the graph and then question them about I had them calculate the constant just to try and get that through their head about that constant, reinforcing some of the stuff we did in the lecture. And then I actually had an online kind of like 10 question type set that they could go through and work on their own and see how they did on that. So that's what I have for you. Like I said, nothing earth-shattering, but again, hopefully could add that to your bag of tricks as you're going forward. And like I said, if you've come across or if you found a nice online lab, you could send it to me, and I could post it here. Like I said, I'll put this sheet, or I'll get this program, these websites out on the ACE website underneath the different chemistries, so you could have access to them. But that's all I have for you tonight. Any questions or any comments? Anything you found?
I actually have some questions. I'm worried about getting the syllabus done. One reason is we were a hybrid. So as I said before, like I had to do the same lab twice.
Right.
So I realized that I'm like 1 month behind my regular timing.
Right, your time frame.
Yes,
Well,
and
that will have to be a question. We'll have to kick it up to the powers higher than us. So maybe email Kaylee and just let her know what's going on. See what she has to say. She might ask me, but or I think that'd be the best thing to do, because and see how they want to approach it. I'm sure they're going to be looking at a little more flexibilities these days, especially like getting jumped around in person, not in person, kind of like what Will's running into.
yeah, I had students only 1 week in person. Everyone came 1 week, and then the second week, half the class not here. So I know I can cover the theory. My concern is about the lab situation. So,
so that's something I think we're gonna have to work out, like with Kaylee, because I had one of the other high school instructors that was kind of again, I just mentioned to Kaylee that, that, the in-person labs might be an issue. So that's something I think they're thinking about. So, I mean, I wouldn't be too nervous about it now, but yeah, let's, give her an email and just let her know, and then let them start thinking about it a little more.
Yeah,
Because
thank you.
that was one of my questions, early on, is like, online labs versus in-person labs. And again, it's kind of hard to find good stuff that's free online.
Yeah, I think your list is useful if we can substitute some of the labs in the list that we got from AS program, that there were like, I think, 15 labs for the 106 and 120. I think we also have similar amount. So if we are allowed to substitute some of those labs with like virtual, or I mean,
Right.
that would be helpful.
Well, I will bring it up with Kaylee. And like I said, I'm assuming they're going to try and, be flexible, because yes, I agree, depending upon, especially, who knows? I mean, this may drag, if you're listening to the experts, this next couple of months they're still thinking are going to be pretty hard. And then, who knows, come to spring and when people start getting vaccinated or whatever, if things will get semi back to normal. Because I know we're still, I mean, I asked that question to our administrators, and at this point, they're still thinking our spring semester is going to go off without a hitch, which I highly suspect it's not. And I think the way I'm going to handle it is, as long as they're going to allow in-person labs, I'll probably be doing the in-person labs. And now with the students, give them the option of coming to class or doing Zoom, because right now that's what since my classes, my Chem 106, actually, I had a split class, again, because we had the labs capped at 12. Mondays, half the class would be in person, half would be Zooming in, and then on Wednesdays they would flip. So we did it that way, again, to keep the classroom numbers down. So I'll probably go into the spring with if they don't have any restriction on us, I'll just give the students the option, either come to person or Zooms for lecture, and then, we'll have to come in for lab. So I'll bring that up. So let me write that down, and then I'll talk to Miss Kaylee about that.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest concern, because we started off hybrid as well, and it was, I don't want to say time was lost, because, kids obviously get much more out of a lab by doing it. But I did the same thing where, you had one group, since we were hybrid, do it the beginning half of the week, and then same thing, the other group do it the second half of the week. So it's taking twice as long to get those things accomplished. So I do agree, trying to get through the material this year that I normally get through, it's going to be a little more challenging,
to say the least.
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, like I said, we'll bring it up to her, and we'll go from there, I guess.
That sounds good.
Okay, then. Well, thanks for taking the time. Hope you had your dinners already. Got cold and windy out there, so guess it wasn't a bad night to have it.
Very true.
Then I'll get with you, Will, maybe after Thanksgiving, and see how things are going.
Okay. Yeah. Even maybe what we can do, let me look at my schedule. Maybe even this Friday. You said you're free, Tuesdays and Fridays are easier days for you?
Yeah, other days I'm not in, packed with classes.
Okay. Maybe we can at least attempt a Google Meet to see if that works on one of those days. And then we'll try to do the observation sometime after Thanksgiving, if that works for you.
Okay.
yeah, let's at least get that part out of the way. Let's try the Google Meet from your end, and then
Okay.
try to get that observation, and then as soon as we can.
All right. So your time frame in the morning. So what's your typical when you're available in the morning?
The problem is we're on like a weird like 6-day cycle. So
Right.
on certain days, on odd days, days 1, 3, and 5, I'm a little bit more free than I am on the even days, because those are my lab days
Right.
where I have the double periods. So I'm trying to think. This Friday, I should be able to, if you want to try a Google Meet, let me think here. Because since we're not in person, I don't have study hall now. I could
Right.
probably do like I think 10 o'clock would probably
Okay.
work.
All right. Well, then why don't you send me something and we'll see. I'll be home, so we'll see if it works. If not, then my text guys, I'll have to ask when I get there next week, but at least we can try, see how it goes.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I'll generate a link, and then we'll see how that works for you.
All right. That sounds good.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks, Will. Thanks, Miss Kay.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good rest of the night.
You too. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.